Once upon a time in the savannas of Kenya, a woman named Amara, a wildlife researcher, discovered an abandoned lion cub near her camp. It was a frail little creature, shivering with fear and hunger. Amara knew the risks of raising a wild animal, but her heart went out to the helpless cub. She decided to nurse him back to health, vowing to prepare him for a life in the wild, far from human contact. She named him Leo, and for 2 years, they shared a bond like no other. Amara would feed him with bottles, play with him under the African sun, and teach him the ways of the savannah, guiding his instincts. As he grew, Leo's fur turned golden and his stature became majestic. He was still young, but his primal instincts began to show in his predatory gaze and powerful movements. As the months went by, Amara knew the day was coming when she'd have to release him. She'd taken every step to prepare him for this moment, but the thought of saying goodbye was a constant ache. Leo was not just a wild animal to her. He was family. Finally, the day arrived. Leo was strong and fearless, a true lion. Amara took him to a secluded area where a pride was known to roam. She opened the cage, her heart breaking as he took his first steps back into the wild. He hesitated, turning to look at her with those familiar, golden eyes. She felt tears in her eyes as she whispered, "Go on, Leo. This is your home." Leo vanished into the grasses, and life returned to its rhythm. Amara missed him deeply, but she found comfort knowing he was free, living the life he was meant for. 2 years passed. One day, while conducting her research in the same savanna, Amara found herself near the pride's territory. She had no expectation of ever seeing Leo again, but something deep inside her urged her to call his name. She called Leo into the vastness of the wild. For a moment, there was silence, and then, out of the tall grass, a figure emerged, a full-grown lion, with a thick mane and an imposing presence. It was Leo. She could hardly believe it, but she knew those eyes anywhere. They were filled with both wildness and warmth, recognition and respect. He approached her cautiously, his powerful frame moving with an ease that both thrilled and terrified her. She held her breath as he came close, their faces mere inches apart. Then, in a moment that defied nature, he nuzzled his massive head against her shoulder, as if remembering the love and care she had given him. That moment lasted only a heartbeat, but it was a bond that needed no words. With a last, lingering look, Leo turned and disappeared into the wilderness, leaving Amara standing there, awed and forever grateful for a love that crossed boundaries. The savannah echoed with a silence that felt like peace, and Amara knew she would carry that moment with her for the rest of her life.